Yo, what's good YouTube? It's boardzy, and this is going to be a review of the Pwnage Ultra Custom Symmetrical 2, which is basically, hear me out, a VIPER Mini Ultimate, except it isn't really, and I'll get into that later. In terms of shape, it's very close. It's easily the closest we've seen. The Deluxe M800, which is a budget mouse at only $45, is a bit larger, but I compared that to the VIPER Mini in the past. So yeah, we have the Symm 2. This mouse, after I got my epic colors and made the Joker colorway, it was $137. They charge $12 for each of these sets of pieces of plastic, which is awesome. And of course, you don't have to make the mouse ultra custom. I am just making the price of ultra customization known. But you're looking at like 12 million different combinations right here. One problem I have though is with the default like button covers and back cover that is on this mouse. I do have an issue with the clicks, which is crazy because I don't have that issue on the add-ons. So this issue I have is, please folks, come on camera. Never mind, I'll give you guys the God angle. Make sure to like and sub. But look at this issue. Look at how this left click rebounds. It might be a bit hard to notice without the audio, but it literally like slowly creeps back up compared to the right click, which snaps right back up. And I'll show it with the purple button covers, let's just say. It's perfect, but I literally cannot use this left click in game. It's impossible to spam, only with the default covers that come on this mouse. And you see the purple ones right back up, rebounding immediately. And by default, the mouse only comes with one set of covers, so if I didn't have these extras, this whole video would probably be me bitching about those clicks. God, that was hard to say. But other than that, I just don't see why this is $110 for the base mouse. I just don't see anything about this mouse other than the fact that it's wireless that makes it any better than the VIPER Mini. So the VIPER Mini weighs 61 grams. This is essentially the same shape, and it is going to be in the low or the mid 70s depending on how you have it configured. This, 73 grams. If it was full solid, it would be 75. You do not want to deal with the Pwnage holes, so get the solid shell version if you get this mouse. They have the most ginormous fucking holes. It's sickening, truly. And if for whatever reason you decide to play without the cover, I guess, like maybe for fingertip, I think that's like 67 or something. So the weights aren't extremely low. It's about a 10 gram, maybe even more increase over the VIPER Mini. VIPER Mini is optical clicks, which really are just incredible. These have, or the Symm 2 has kill 8.0s, definitely tensioned heavily. I know they have those like gimmicky button spacers. I've just never dealt with them. The default clicks are pretty heavy. They have a new software where you can adjust it to 0 MSD bounds. A concern on Pwnage mice, specifically the Ultra Custom Symmetrical 1, was that it had high click latency. I did all of the scientific methods, human benchmark, a bump test, Kovacs, Fortnite editing, and I concluded that the VIPER Mini does seem to have lower click latency. And I'm not saying that the latency is extremely high or as bad as it used to be, but just that the VIPER Mini clicks feel more responsive in use. But proof that the 0 MSD bounce actually works is the fact that every drag click registers on this mouse. Is it the new God Minecraft mouse? I don't fucking care. And if you want the same exact mouse but for a little bit cheaper, without of course the ultra customization, I'll link this in the description as well. The Xenix Titan GM Air, literally the exact same mouse made in the same factory. One thing that I can definitely give Pwnage credit for is the build quality. This is a solid shell. It doesn't feel cheap whatsoever. No creaking anywhere yet. And even though they do have the swappable shell, it does feel like one piece. And something I can't believe has taken this long to get to is the shape. In terms of length and height, I really cannot notice a difference in hand, but towards the bottom of the mouse, it is definitely wider with the Pwnage Symm 2. So this means if you claw grip, it's just going to feel like there's more mouse in your palm compared to the VIPER Mini, which is narrower. Does nimble make sense? Has anybody used that word to describe a mouse before? And if you take a look at the base of the mouse, you can see that the VIPER Mini just does not curve out as much as the Pwnage Symm 2 does, and it feels a bit bigger in use. Obviously, it feels heavier as well, and I just don't get the sense of an improved VIPER Mini. If I was a VIPER Mini main, and let's say I just had the stock cable, not even a paracord, which I think is a necessity, I would say that just going out and getting a paracord is a better option than wasting over $100 on this mouse, when you might say to yourself, holy shit, I actually prefer the standard VIPER Mini, which is $30, which was what I said. Obviously, a Hello Kitty version's a bit more blah blah. Something the Symm 2 actually is going for, specifically over the VIPER Mini, is the sensor. It's using a 3370 sensor, which is the only sensor wireless mice should be using until, of course, they can use the 3399. And the liftoff distance is low. It's on 1mm, and it feels like a low 1mm. Obviously, one of the notorious problems with the VIPER Mini is the high LOD. For me, it's not a problem, and there are ways to remedy it, but yeah, the VIPER Mini's LOD is high, while the Symm 2 is low. So if you do want a wireless version of the VIPER Mini shape, and that's really all you care about, then yeah, maybe go for the Symm 2. But if you're looking for a genuinely better mouse, I think you should wait until Razer does it. And of course, you might be like, why are you saying that? I'll show you why. This is about as close to confirmation as we're gonna get that a Razer VIPER Mini Ultimate is in the works, and apparently 2022 is the year that we are all waiting for. And that's from a Razer representative on Reddit, and I will overdose on the hopium. Make sure to leave a like if you're taking the hopium as well. But what else is there even to say about this mouse? The mouse skates, they're solid. They're just like, they have rounded edges, decently thick PTFE, a smooth glide, and aftermarket skates would feel better. Also, these side buttons are great. Good stuff from Pwnage. No issues with the quality. A bit of wobble on mouse 4, but can't notice it in game. No, like, post-travel. These clicks are also well-tensioned in terms of, like, pre-travel, post-travel, and wobble. But I just wish they could work on that sticky click issue, because I have had that issue on past mice, and hopefully they don't develop creaking down the line. And I think that covers everything on the mouse. It's using USB-C. The battery life is good. It's even better if you have it on office mode instead of gaming mode with the RGB. And I haven't really let up on the price. It's just because the Deluxe M800, it does use a 3335, but it's 69 grams. It's using Kale 4.0 switches, and it's a wireless version, even a bit larger, for $45. So what is making this a $110 mouse compared to the $30 VIPER Mini and the $45 M800? I just don't see it. And that's going to be all for the review of the Pwnage Ultra Custom Symmetrical 2. Honestly, a good mouse, just a bit overpriced in my opinion, but it is ultra customizable at the end of the day, which nothing else on the market is. And the performance is not terrible. I just don't think it's really any better than the VIPER Mini. And I am somebody who values having a wireless mouse a lot, but I just think a modded VIPER Mini is a bit better. But yeah, no seal of approval. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and peace.